Sandakphu is a unique place where you can see 4 of the 5 tallest mountains in the world. Let's have a look to see how we get there, but it starts with lots of steps. Here in Banchang, we're just heading off in the Singalila camp and we're all ready to go. We're just staying at a nice homestay last night here. This nice man over here. Bye. 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 Yeah. Bye. And we're now heading up through the town and we'll head off out. We've all got packs on. We have a guide over here. Our guide name is Tenchin, and we have a porter helping us out as well. His bag. Got Zach. Got Gabriel. It's December, so it's pretty cold up here, but the skies are really clear, and I think I'm in shadow here as we come through a gap between the houses to get up to the main section of the town. Well, we'll walk through the marketplace. We'll have a good look at what's for sale and what's going on, and you'll see a bit of I guess regional life up here in the mountains in northern West Bengal.
We're like the expedition trip.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty.
Yeah, you're thirsty. I'll stop with some water in a minute.
Oh my god, you just talk.
Yes, I know.
Come check.
So the World Cup is on. So I've got all the streamers of the different teams involved straight across the road. Now, this is not really a Western tourist town up here. We haven't seen any other foreign tourists at all. This is more a Indian tourist town where they come up and do the trek, Singalila. There's a lot of different trek groups around here we're about to walk past. Really beautiful little area. Ah, yes, entry. So we have to turn this off because we're going through the entry. No, it wasn't him. He didn't walk. So we're heading through up some steps out of town. Money Banjan. Beautiful sunshine. Get over the houses. The houses up there. And still lines.
Don't run. You'll be tired. Slowly but steady.
Wow.
When's the rain?
Getting a view up here, aren't we, Gabriel?
Chicken's over there. This is amazing. I need to put my hands in my pocket.
Yeah?
The chicken. Bok.
Be careful.
Bok.
Get one.
Oh.
Take one. You wanna take?
Take a chicken home?
Yeah.
Oh, there's that. What's it come, Gabriel? Very
Dada.
Good morning. Nice day. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye. Steps are starting to get steeper, but the view out here is getting
No,
even
chickens
better.
can come up there.
Getting higher up.
And chickens can come on there.
Around. Man cleaning up the garden. We're coming further up. It's very hard to see, it's very hazy, but there's some cloud, just some above the clouds out there, there's some big mountains just poking through. We're going to see some bigger ones soon. That's the start of the trek. We'll come back onto the camera in a few minutes. So we're going along the side of the road, and occasionally you have this sort of four-wheel drive come through. Okay. So although we started from Kanchenjunga, some people get a four-wheel drive through to a higher town or a higher village, whereas we're doing the full trek. Because, well, we do the full trek. It's what we do. How are we going up, Gabriel?
Good.
Good? So, probably climb a leaf. That looks like a raspberry bush leaf. And Zach's actually ahead. He's charging up the mountain. For a 4-year-old, he's doing remarkably well. Now, we've chosen to take the hiker's trail, which is steps beside the... Well, it goes quite a fair way away from the road, and it's a really big shortcut in terms of distance, but it's a bit steeper because obviously you're going up steps and shorter. Oh, but the views are fantastic, aren't they, Gabriel? Yeah. Going in and out of pine spruces. Vegetation is kind of broken and not that thick.
Mama. Mama, look at that mountain.
And we're all getting further and further up. It's pretty steep, and because we started it was only 5 or 6 degrees, we had clothes on for that. Now taking off jackets and beanies and all sorts of things. It's beautiful, quite warm sunshine, really. Getting to the stage of thinking about sunglasses, and there we go. So it's flattening down here. Let's have a look at this bit. And we're just going to stop. We're stopping for our first break at Hawk's Nest, so we're just going to have a quick break here on our way up for some tea, maybe some milk for the boys, and we'll get moving up. We'll just walk inside and have a look. So you get an idea.
Cool.
Mind your head.
It's a cool view over here.
There's a cool view, is there?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a cool view out there, isn't there? Yeah. It is a nice view. Now we just stayed inside for about 15 minutes. And the weather has completely changed. It's still morning time. We only just had a morning tea, but if I spin the camera around, you can see completely cloud covered. We're right at cloud level. The clouds have come through, which they do late in the morning every day. The temperature's probably dropped 8 to 10 degrees, if not more. And we've only gone up 500 metres from where we started. So quite a big change in climate. Now up and around us we're walking through some high mountain plains, and we've got some cows just free to wander around. We still have the four-wheel drive jeeps coming up from some of the groups that go further up and cut this hike down to a much smaller trek than what we're doing it as, than a full trek. And we're starting to get a little bit more broken paths up here in this section, but we're still going well. The boys, 4 and 6-year-old, are still pulling ahead of us quite happily, going along. We haven't had any issues with complaints or tiredness. We've had a couple of requests for food and that's been about it. But as you can see, up ahead you can see how broken the path is through this area. So a bit of a change from earlier. Now we're out of the forests and off the paved section. We'll see. We'll update as we go. So as you can see, the trail's getting pretty old and broken up now. A bit harder to follow. Basically like a goat trail now. And we're just picking our way through it. Coming up towards our lunch break. And we're stepping over gullies and creeks. So we'll wind our way up to our first we haven't got to lunch yet, so wind our way up to our lunch spot. So we're here having some lunch. Guys are cooking some food in here. Doing up some olive fry, potato chips, and lots of greens and things, and some vegetables we don't know. And in here, pressure cooker on there, they're cooking rice and they're heating the water. And over here, got the rest of the kitchen with all the different pots and pans. It's all burning away beautifully. So this is how you cook, because we're in a homestay here. This is how you cook. I guess it's Nepali Indian style, up in the mountains. Yeah, this is quite an incredible forest. You can look at all these old trees and they've been completely covered over in, I don't know if it's lichen or moss. Let's zoom close up. And we're coming through. Here's a nice close up of one of these trees. Yeah. The clouds are coming through. We've got a bit of blue sky overhead for the first time in a few hours, but it's pretty cold and it's kind of a bit spooky going through forests like this when the clouds are around. And of course, as soon as you put the camera on, the clouds are clear, don't they? When it's nice and atmospheric. Here we go. So it's got quite cold here, but we're finally up above the cloud line, about 3,000 metres, and just we're walking along, we get to see it. Kanchenjunga. Look at this. This beautiful mountain, third tallest in the world. We come all the way up here to see it, and here we get first day, get the glimpse of a magnificent mountain. From the great views at Tamling, we leave the ridgeline down to Garibus. It's okay. Yeah. So we're up here, elevation. The GoPro battery keeps taking itself out and saying it's got no power. It's still got over 50% battery, so we'll have to warm it up in a minute. But the view here is a little view hut just here about to walk into, and we're going to have a look out to the many different peaks of Kanchenjunga, high over the clouds in the distance. What a magnificent mountain it is. So the second morning, we've gone up and got some photos at sunrise, but now we're heading off, all of us, off up our trek. We have our bamboo poles ready and going. We're out here.
Daddy, you have poles.
I don't need a pole, you keep going. I'm just going to stop and have a look. We stayed in here, little township just near the top of the peak. and the clouds are already rising up towards us, so much lower when we got up at sunrise. It's good to sort of get an idea of what the trek's like. Now we're starting off along a road here, and I'm sure we'll get to goat tracks that'll short circuit a bit of the road today. But as you can see out here, see Kanchenjunga. One of the views that we're getting from the track heading across, it's Sandakphu over there, that peak, and once we get to that peak we can then see everything else in the distance that way. But the view here, oh, just spectacular. Today we walk along ridge line, and the next couple of days we walk along this ridge line and then down a little bit across a couple of ridge lines to get up to Sandakphu over here. So a bit of a walk across. You can see it's even a spectacular view from here. Getting on towards mid-morning now. The clouds keep coming and going over the top, as the clouds normally do rise at this time of day. Walking through a really nice section of forest beside us. Berries that are poisonous on this side, but pretty.
How'd you get another?
No, you didn't. It's alright. Keep going. So
What's that?
you'll get something else when you finish yours, okay? Boys are fighting over who's got the most lollies and biscuits and stuff. It happens. But we're going along pretty nicely today. Pretty good speed. And we're only walking until a late lunch today to Gabriel, which is about 400 metres elevation down. Mostly we'll be going across at the moment, so I guess towards the end of our time today we'll start going down. Now it's 9 kilometres by the road, but we're not going along the road. We're going along some goat trails that are much faster. Yeah, look what I mean. Keep going, Zaki.
Now.
Here we go.
It's stupid now. Then I said it's stupid now.
Yeah. Keep going, Gabriel. Watch out for your stick, baby.
You know, I said it's stupid now.
You said it's stupid now, did you?
Stupid now.
Keep going, Zaki.
Now I have more lollies than Gabriel.
That's okay. Gabriel's had a really big one, and he'll get some more soon when he's finished his. So, let's get up the hill.
More from my pocket.
Yeah.
You don't have a big one.
No,
This
keep
is
going.
a big one.
Zaki, Gabriel's got a big
I
one.
have even bigger one.
No, Zaki, just keep heading up the hill. Doesn't matter.
Toy.
Yeah, we're a bit tired today, aren't we? After a big day yesterday. But we're getting there. No, we're not doing carry at the moment. Not for this bit, because it's not a very long bit, Zaki.
Oh yes it is.
Come on, we can do it.
I want to.
Come on. No piggyback now.
I want piggyback.
No, Zaki.
I want
He's after piggyback today.
piggyback.
So we're here, and we're looking at, oh, I can carry a stick. You keep walking, Zaki. Yeah, the clouds are coming in, and the visibility drops off to pretty much nothing on this track. Really pretty seeing the silhouetted trees in the clouds though, so yeah, partway through the... Today we go from Gabriel up to Sandakphu. It's not an easy trek. Gabriel astounds me by not complaining and completing this difficult trek. It was hard work for an adult, but he just did it, and he's only 6, so wow. Zach needs to be carried a few times, but that's alright. Been walking along for a while now through some mixed rhododendron and bamboo forests, and it's the ideal habitat for red pandas, but we haven't seen any. But my son's got out his binoculars, which he asked for his birthday present, and he's checking out all the different trees and bamboo and all that sort of stuff. And so he's just going to sit down and have a rest for a little bit. Show us everyone your binoculars.
Binoculars.
Yes, you've been looking through. What have you been trying to find, Gabriel?
Birds
Birds?
and pandas.
Birds and pandas. Have you seen any birds or pandas?
No.
No. very quiet out there in the animal world.
I see someone moving.
Today we're starting out from Garabus quite early in the morning and we're having a bit of problems getting going.
So I have to submit this?
Yes, of course. This is our man that's going to make your chicken dumplings tonight, Gabriel.
Now?
He's got them in there making them, but we'll have to them later.
Oh, okay. Well.
Here we are up at Sandakphu, right at the top of the peak, just coming up to sunset. Most of the footage today didn't come out because the battery decided that it just didn't want to work when it gets cold. So you can see on this side here, massive bank of cloud, and over here we start Kanchenjunga, all the peaks, clearly visible, beautiful sunset coming onto there. Further around over here we've got the Three Sisters in here, and then if we come, also Three Sisters here, if we come round over the end here, we've got, if I start from the left from these, we've got Lhotse and then Everest in the middle, those ones there, okay, very far off in the distance, but you can see them from here. So there's 3 of the top 5 plus that one makes it, that's 4 of the top 5 mountains in the world just there. And we've got the boys down here who've made it all the way up today. Cheese. Hello.
Ice cream.
Eating ice cream. Just setting up a couple of photos. Boys, how did we go with our climbing today?
Good.
Good? Who climbed all the way?
Me.
Me? Well, Gabriel climbed all the way up here today.
I climbed a little bit.
Yep.
Jackie, no warning.
It's alright.
And he carried me.
Yeah, well, a couple of people give you a bit of a carry lift today. And here we are, we're just about to have our photos. So, great shots in the evening and then morning light. It's awesome to see these magnificent mountains, even though they are so far away. Just goes to show you how tall they are. They still dominate the landscape. After some early morning photos, we unfortunately got clouded over. It's really cold, but the boys love the ice. Today we're day number 4 of our trek. Now starting from Sandakphu and we're heading along the ridge to Falut. And if we have a look,
Frost.
it's frosty, isn't it?
It's frosty all over the ground.
Frosty
Look.
everywhere.
Look, snow. Snow.
Okay.
On the bridge.
Let's go, boys.
Snow.
Come on, Gabriel.
Snow. And I wrote that. And when the car sack out.
It's about -5 overnight. Maybe a little bit cold on that, but that's what we've been told. And everything's pretty much covered in frost. Getting up this morning, got some photographs of the mountains at sunrise, but GoPros don't like working at minus temperatures for very long, so you would have just seen some stills of that from the morning. And now we're heading up across past the viewing spots to Falut. Come on, Zaki, let's go. I know you're tired, but we're going to go. Come on, up here. You go get more tired going backwards. This way.
I'm still tired.
I know. Today we've got 14 kilometres to go before we get to our lunch spot, and then we've got another 7 kilometres after that to get to Falut. So it's a big 21 kilometre day today, and I suspect I'll be carrying someone eventually today, but not right now. And we've got some playing with the ice just here.
Yeah. broken. This side's not broken. Yeah!
Okay, come on boys, let's keep moving.
I can't wait that high.
Yeah.
Again,
Come on. Up we go.
I'm making all that.
Up we go, boys. Zeki, you need to be more careful, not play with the ice, please.
Oh!
Come on. Come on, boys, we need to get moving.
Smashed it.
Come on, Zeki, let's get moving. I know that the ice is fun. A lot of fun playing with ice in the morning. Our next trek after this one, we're heading up above the snow line over in Uttarakhand, so it's the Kantha Trail. But today we're going along through Singalila Ridge through the national park to get to Falut, and we should have a view of Everest, Makalu and Lhotse on our left, which is out there but it's covered in cloud, and over this way we've got Kanchenjunga. Come on Zeki, let's go. It's a bit of a winter wonderland up here at the moment. Have a look at the beautiful pine trees covered in frost. It's like just before Christmas. That looks like a beautiful Christmas setting down here with trees. With all the frost everywhere, almost like a fresh covering of snow. Boys are really loving the look of things. Should we walk down? Yeah, let's have a look. Okay, in a moment, Gabriel. Zeki normally likes walking with Tenzi. That's okay. There we go. Beautiful. Absolutely magical walking through here at this time of morning. With all the frost everywhere. Trees. What do you think of it, Zeki? What's it look like? Does it look nice? Yeah. There we go. Beautiful. Yes. Come around and you can see where the sun's started to warm things up on the top of this next ridge over here. Just going to turn this off, Zeki. It's incredible, this tree is still alive. Most of it's fallen off, destroyed, split, but there's this green section here that's still going. And this is what the plains look like, or the ridge looks like, between Sandakphu and Falut. Come out of forests and into sort of rolling hills, and we take little goat tracks over here on the side to get through and see everything. So it'd be nice if we didn't have a thick cloud cover, which we'd be able to see Everest and Lhotse just up here, and be able to see Kanchenjunga out to our right. So sometimes you come across little houses where people live too. So it's an old abandoned one, but it gives you the sort of the size of what people are living in and what sort of conditions it is. Now all this area earlier would have been covered in frost, and the sun has come out and sort of evaporated that off. But just coming around to a nice view from the side of this ridge to the sections ahead. We're heading up and over in front of us out here to get to Falut, and somewhere over the other side of this coming bigger ridge here is where we're going to be stopping for a very, very late lunch, somewhere hopefully around 1:30, 2 o'clock. It could be much later. Now, things that I really like that you can get, although I've got a bright yellow one because the boys wanted mine today. These buffs that you can put around your neck, pretty awesome. Beanies, of course. Sun when it comes out is really bright, so sunglasses, but here we go. So we just stopped for a very late lunch at Molly. There's not really much there. Got omelette and some, what tastes a bit like Maggi masala noodles. Yeah, just need food when you're going this far today. 21 k's from Sandakphu to Valat, and we're 14 kilometres through, or just 15, just glossed over, and it's kind of walking along the ridgeline. Here we are. So we can see that every now and then when the clouds clear, you can see that we walk along this ridgeline, and we do that for off into the distance. We head uphill round to the right over there, but it's very much a disappointing day in terms of we're not really seeing much today. Normally out here we'd have Kanchenjunga up here, like it's just here. It's really close, but it's not there. So then on the other side over here, we should really be having a bit of Makalu, Everest and Lhotse just sitting next to each other on the horizon. But for most of the day today, we've had pretty heavy cloud cover, and it's been quite cold as a result, so you kind of need to prepare for sunny, hot sort of conditions early on in the day, very bright, hence sunglasses, and then later on in the day you get breaks of sun, and then at the moment we're back into a cloud section and the temperature drops an incredible amount when the sun's not shining. So I'll just spin the camera around and show you more of scenery. So it's just gone past another section.
The traffic jam.
Better.
Our boys are playing a game where they've turned their walking sticks into motorcycle handles, and they're riding along off into a pretty good pace actually, decent adult pace considering they've done 15 kilometres already today, which is an incredible amount for a 4 and a 6-year-old to be doing. But yeah, 6-year-old's running into the distance at the moment, and had to carry the 4-year-old a couple of times, but most of the time he's made his way, except when it's got such deep, and we've kept moving at a pretty good pace, so about 2 kilometres an hour, which isn't too bad, so which makes it a 10-hour day unfortunately across to Valat from Sandakphu, because it's 21 kilometres. So what's that? 14 miles. Just arriving into Valat now. It's taken us all day. The sun's gone down, so it's just after sunset. You can get to this little sign that says Valat, Rimbek, Gorpi and Raman, and here is all that's at Valat, which is a trekker's hut. Now we'll be staying in here. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in here this evening, but Gabriel, the little star man, he walked the whole way today, didn't you, Gabriel?
Yeah.
And we're going to come inside and we're going to try and find him some yummy food, because he's going to be hungry, and we'll see what else is going on in here. So I think we go in here. Yep. So we're going to enter into a trekking hut. So I'll turn off the video and we'll see you tomorrow.
This mountain hut at Valat is really basic, and the floors are really creaky. You could pretty much hear anyone moving around at any time of day or night.
What is it?
We're in here in the trekker's hut. in Falut, and they're just cooking some dinner. So I just thought I'd show you what's going on. So over here,
Yum.
we've got
Very ready.
fire stove, cooking away the butter for us, and in the big bowl in there, it's full of boiling water, which we're just heating up and keeping
अनि नहाल्नुहोस् किन भन्नु त
hot constantly, so they can use it for all the other cooking they're doing. And preparing up. So some sabji or some garlic, some spices and things.
नहाल्नु टमाटो सस पनि खान्छ नि
Yeah, but there's nothing nice like it. So the same thing they show over and over again. When you go back, you watch the same thing again.
We're not really missing out on TV at all.
No.
We've got the fire and I'm watching people cooking our dinner.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's different.
I know it's different, but it's good. Yeah, and Gabriel's over here watching.
We go.
Hello, Gabriel.
From Falut, we descend steeply down through a nice forest to a river township of Gorky.
We're up here at Falut on the hill just above it, and we come up to see this Everest and Kanchenjunga, but it looks like the clouds have come in. So we've got a nice wandering yak over here, full woolly. It's obviously been living up here most of its life. There's a few more down here, a few more in the distance. Every now and then we get a glimpse of Everest, which is out in this direction, but the clouds keep coming in over the top. We can see some other snow-capped domes over this way as well. But really, ideally we want to have this spot just here clear again, so we can get some more photos of Everest. It does look like it's clearing up now. Can see a lot more. I can see Everest through there just at the moment. You can see Makalu, Everest and Lhotse, just the three. But again, now the clouds come over. That's the thing when you're up here, altitude and amongst the clouds, sometimes you do lose all visibility just because the clouds get blown in. And normally the best time to see the mountains is first thing in the morning, which is why we're here, to have a look at them. But according to our guide, the winds come from the opposite direction of where it normally does. It's normally blowing from left to right and blowing these clouds off the view of Everest, which is over here. So we'd normally be able to see it pretty clearly from up here, and it's one of the better Everest viewpoints that you do get around. But this morning we've got the wind coming from the opposite direction and just completely destroying our hopes of getting a good photo. You can just see it through the wispy clouds up there, but it's not really a great thing. So I thought I'd come down here and show you a couple of the local residents who got frost on their coats. They're living up here, they're eating. And this one here is a big bull. You can see that by how big his horns are, how much coat he's got, how big and strong he is. He'd be a massive unit. I have no idea how heavy, but it's a big yak. So up there, oh, it's gone again. Every now and then you do get glimpses, but it's not quite good enough for cameras and probably not quite good enough for the GoPro. But we're giving it a shot. There we go. There's a bit of clear, and let's hope that this combination of the sun and this wind can blow the cloud away for long enough that we can get a couple of nice photos from here. At the moment it's really just teasing us, showing us the mountains with just enough to be able to make out exactly where they are, but not enough to actually get a good shot. So I'm having a look at our yaks here. We're just in a bit of a waiting game at the moment. Got everything set up here. So Shireen's there, ready to go with the camera. It's full zoom, everything's set up here. We're on the top of a little hillock. I'm not sure if the battery's going to last on the GoPro because it's pretty cold up here. GoPro batteries just don't last. And so a good height on the top up here to be able to see. And we're just waiting. It's a bit of a waiting game. I'll come back again if we have an update with some positive news. Otherwise, we'll just get down here. While I'm waiting, I thought we'd come down and see some of the other residents up here. So we've got a small herd of goats who are right up near the peak here. You can see how frosty it is on the ground, and they're pretty comfortable with me being only a couple of metres away. I'll see if I can get a little bit closer in. The yaks don't let me get this close, so we'll see what the goats are like. See if we can get a nice close up of a resident over here. There we go. Making sure he can see me, not approaching from the blind side. He knows I'm no threat. Pretty visible in my bright yellow jacket. He's just eating away, or she is eating. Oh, we're getting some clearing over here. Oh, certainly are. There we go. So, Makalu is the tallest one. Everest behind it, because it's a fair way away behind Makalu. It's still there. And then Lhotse is the third. So there's our big three over there. 3 of the 5 tallest. We'd be able to see the third tallest off to our right, but because it's much closer than these, but that's completely cloud covered. So at least we can get some shots like this of Everest over there with Lhotse and Makalu. Oh, it's starting to clear up beautifully, so we might even get some better footage in a few moments. I'm going to have to warm up the GoPro before it cuts out, so I'll just turn it off again and we'll come back if we can get some better shots than this. No, Sheridan's not turning grey. This is just ice that's formed in her hair from how cold it is up here and the moisture in the air. See how it's just warming on there. And then here making chapatis. See here. And then over this side we have initially being fried over here. It's all a wood stove, and these are all chapatis. And they puff up beautifully down here above the hot coals. And there's beautiful flavour to them. You can't get better chapatis than this. And you go in there, all done. So you can see the heat. You can't feel the heat here very easily, but the heat's coming up. So you can see that they initially get cooked up the top and then it's down under the coals. So they have a master chapati maker here who's doing a great job making some wonderful chapatis. Here we go. Let's go. So we're walking between Farlat down to Gorky, and we've been walking up the top most of the time, but now we're down in a path that's formed below a lot of bamboo up here above us, and it's a pretty solid track. Bit
See?
I guess it's a bit dusty and everything, yeah, and got logs built in, make it nice and strong, and we're doing pretty good time because it's pretty easy downhill nearly all the way today, and we're just going through these long gullies. That's a nice walk. How's the walk today, Gabriel?
Good.
Well, we got a word from him, so here we go. Now we're back out into a thick bamboo forest. In theory, this is the habitat of the red panda. The likelihood of us seeing a red panda is about, I don't know, 1 in 1,000 for a normal person, but when you've got a noisy Zach at the front, I think we're about 1 in a million to see one. So, but still a beautiful walk down through here, which we're enjoying. Been walking along through this bamboo for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. Just a little path in between, single file, just lovely sort of forest. Occasionally, just here you'll see a stream that we're going past, and very lush bamboo Really beautiful. Good idea. All of the gullies down here up to waterfalls. Coming through. And Gabriel coming through too. Now so far Gabriel has walked the entire trip so far, even up to 21 kilometre days, or
Easy for me.
14-mile days.
Sticky.
He's got a stick, so he's happy. So
Easy.
keep going, but you're very slow.
Because we need to take time and be careful.
Yes, 'cause we don't want to fall in.
Now jump. Ready, set, go.
There we go. Now the last 20 minutes or so down into Gorky is a really steep descent, and we've stowed everything apart from the camera here. Just going to give you an idea of how steep the descent is. I'm using hands. Look back up, look back down. It's very steep. It's not somewhere that you can do easily. The boys though, have taken off ahead and charge down the hill as they love to do. But it is quite a steep descent. I'll finish there. So this is Gorky, and look down over the valley where you've got a river coming in from the right here, the one coming in from the left there as well, meet and they head off down. This is on the other side of the river is Sikkim, and here we are in West Bengal, and we're heading down to somewhere where we're going to be staying tonight, not sure where, and it looks really nice. The boys beat us down the hill because that's what they do, and I'll just clamber down myself.
From Gorky, we go through old Japanese cedar forests and then through some jungle farm areas to Rimbik and the end.
It's the final day here of the Singalila Trek. It's a bit bright, starting off a little bit cool. It's not too bad, so we're just going to head out of town. Got all the boys here and the crew. A bit muddy right here at the start and a bit slippery, so Sam's making her way across, and Gabriel and Zach are over the other side. We have Rupesh, our porter here, who's helping us out by taking one of the bags because, well, it's a bit hard for Daddy to... That's good, you let him have your stick. That was nice, Gabriel.
What? You take a photo of us on the bridge?
Yeah. So we're just, after a bit of a climb up, we're now going through a pine forest and walking along through it. It's quite a nice pine forest up here, but occasionally what we're seeing is some people have harvested bamboo, and there's one up there, but I think they're a bit hard to see. They're walking along carrying so much bamboo that they're almost like a small tree, and obviously taking it back into their farms to, I don't know, to feed the cows, I expect. But yeah, pretty cool thing to see. Yes, Gabriel?
How tall are these big trees?
Oh, they're pretty tall, aren't they? The pines are probably, I don't know, 30 yards, 40 yards. They're pretty big.
Daddy,
20, 30 metres. Okay.
Daddy, show them the top of the pine.
Yes, I have shown them the top. They're pretty tall, aren't they?
Yeah,
Let's come along.
they're all the way up there.
Yeah. Come on, keep going through. Coming downhill now after a long section of flat through the forest. coming down to the river, and it's quite steep down, so we've slowed right up to make sure that we're not slipping over, because there's lots of leaves and loose dirt on some very smooth and well-worn rocks. So Zach is taken off ahead of us. I don't know, 4-year-old with that much energy, he just needs to get going, and he just runs off into the distance a lot of the time. So that's just how it is with him. And the rest of us, well, we can just be slow and steady down the hills and make sure we're all okay. So sort of sea coming through. Beautiful sort of setting down here. Coming down to a lovely river. Let's have a look at the river. Strong looking concrete bridge. Just zigzagging our way along here. And it looks like we have to head back up again once we've crossed the river. Don't see Zach heading up and leading the way off into the distance. He's one fit 4-year-old. Wow. Even though we've had to carry him a few times going up some of the steeper slopes at the ends of the day, early on in the day, he sets the pace and he just gets going. Here's a beautiful river setting just here. Absolutely gorgeous. So, just going to take some photos. Some horses coming through. Cement. Lots of cement. There are horses coming through, carrying lots of cement. Must be for the new building they're building down in. We're walking along through a small village of Raman, and we've just come out after going in the forest and into the village, and we've got a big view out over the landscape from here. No mountains down this way, but a nice view over the valley anyway. And Gabriel's going along strongly, and we're on track to get for the end of our trek today, just after, well, normal lunchtime, so we'll have a little bit of a late lunch, but we're doing pretty well.
And this is our last time in the mountains.
Well, for this trek, isn't it? For this trek, it's our last time. Did you want to, Gabriel, can I get... Such intense agriculture over there with all the different terraces and all the cleared land with all the tiny houses all the way up and down the side of that hill. Last kilometre down into Tari, and beautiful little creek here flowing down, little waterfalls, really pretty, such a pretty look. Now we're on a sealed section of road. We've just come down a very steep bit. We're about to head along a bit more flat away to the final spot for us, which will be at a bridge crossing, where we're then getting a car through to Rimbic, because there's not much to see between here and there. So here we are on the bridge, the final spot that we're coming to for our trek. We've got a car waiting for us just on the other side. We stopped here, a couple of photos with the boys. Boys and our guide there. They're having a good little thing. This bridge is no longer available for cars, you can just have motorbikes on it. But they're building a new bridge just beside us, just down there, where you can see it.
We're here! We're here!
We're here. We made it.
Yeah. Daddy!
We made it.
Daddy! Daddy!
Yeah.
Look at that tower that fell down.
Yes, that was a bit of construction bit that fell down, isn't it? And it's going to be pretty heavy to lift up.
Take a photo on the bridge.
Yeah.
And there's the
Good
wire.
I think we need to take a photo on the bridge. We'll take it from